Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Nyasha and today we have a book haul. You guys can see the stacks that are beside me, but that's fine. That's okay because buying books is a completely different hobby to reading books, and they're both valid. I hope you guys are doing well. Today we have a very long-awaited, for me, book haul. Basically, I've just been accumulating a lot of books as the months go on, as you do, and I thought that it would be a good time to share them with you now since we are halfway through the year, and then maybe in December I can do another book haul that sort of, you know, finalizes and showcases all the books that I bought in 2025. Now, there are, if I counted correctly, 13 books which I have to share with you guys today, which is like the most that I've ever had to do a haul of, but I didn't buy 13 books in one go. I don't have the finances for that, sorry. I've just been, like I said, accumulating these books as time goes on. I like to treat myself to books sometimes, and this is the result of that. So if you guys enjoy this video, please comment down below your thoughts and opinions on any of these books, or if you've bought new books recently, please let me know, because then I might also be persuaded to buy even more, because as we speak, I have a whole list of books that I'm planning on buying literally after this video. Like, enough said. Yeah, we're just gonna go, I can't remember month by month. I also have a full spread in my book journal that shows all the books that I have bought or I hold from January to June. So let's just get into it. The first two books that I bought myself, they're a part of a series, so I think it's fair to do them together. And that is Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, both by Rebecca Yarros. These two books, I remember buying them at the very beginning of the year, and I read this one. As you can see by my bookmark, I am in the process of reading Iron Flame. Not currently. She's been soft DNF'd. I don't like the term soft DNF because it makes it seem like I'm not gonna finish reading the book. I'm gonna come back to this. It's just for now I put it to the side. So if that's what soft DNF means, then I guess I have to like it. But yeah, these are the first two books that I got. I speak about these two books, well, Fourth Wing more so, on my channel a lot already. In my reading wrap-up of, like, my Q1 wrap-up, you can hear my thoughts and opinions on the Fourth Wing book, and I don't have any thoughts and opinions on Iron Flame just yet, because as you saw, I am not far into it at all. I don't even think, am I even 100 pages in? No, I'm 54 pages in. Okay. But yeah, these are the two books that I got at the beginning of the year, which was a great two buys. Plus, I just love the way that the spines like line up. Like, it's that sort of attention to detail that makes book collecting so fun. The next book that I have to share, I actually was gifted it, so I didn't buy it myself. That was Yellowface by Rebecca F. Kuang, and this is also another book that I have spoken very highly of, and just a lot on my channel. So if you want to see my thoughts, I have a reading blog on this, but I also I speak about it in my Q1 reading wrap up, because she is that girl. This book, she is that girl. Okay, yes, please and thank you. So yeah, this was the next book that I got. The next three books that I got, I actually bought at a secondhand shop, a thrift shop, if you want to say. So they were dirt cheap. I walked into that store not thinking that I was gonna get any books, and I walked out with 3. So that's just the way that the cookie crumbles. If there's books that are there that I'm gonna buy, I'm gonna buy them. Like, yeah, I promise you I make good financial decisions. It's just sometimes when it comes to books, you never know, you know. But the first book that I picked up at that thrift store was The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I've already read this book. I read this book, it was like at the end or like in the middle of the pandemic. I can't remember, but I remember reading it and loving it. And then I read it electronically at the time, so now I own the physical copy. Plus, the copy I picked up has yellow sprayed edges, which I feel like is so cool. And if and someone's left a bookmark in it. You see, thrifted books always have some sort of story to tell as well. I don't know what I meant by what I just said. Literally ignore that. But I won't lie, this bookmark is a little bit scary. It's Pierre Auguste Renoir. But yeah, I'm actually looking at this just now, and it's saying exclusive collector's edition. So I don't know if it has an extra like chapter at the end. Oh my gosh, it does. I had no idea. It says turn the page to read bonus content from the author, exclusive to this edition. So I got this, I'm pretty sure this was £2. I got a special edition for £2. Excuse me, and there's a whole, well, to be fair, the chapter isn't, well, it's somewhat long. That makes me want to reread this book, like really, so that I can find out what the bonus chapter is. Because if I read the bonus chapter right now, I'm not gonna remember anything about it. But that's so cool. I had no idea. Love that. Anyways, so yeah, we have a collector's edition. The next book I got at the thrift store was The Monogram Murders by Agatha Christie. Okay, listen, there's reasoning to why I picked this book up, right? My main genres that I read are fantasy and romance and mystery. So I love me a good Agatha Christie novel. I've read, I think, 4 or 5 of them so far, and I do have a collection of them, but they're back home. So I was like, let me just add on more to that, because I feel like whenever you walk into a thrift store or like a very, very packed, busy bookstore that's not like a commercial one, you just sort of look out for names of authors or like names of series that you recognize. And I recognize Agatha Christie and Angie Thomas, and I was like, bet I'm gonna be there. You're coming home with me, because this was also only £2. And I have no idea what it's about. It says it's a Hercule Poirot mystery, which I love me a good bit of Poirot. Oh, guys, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that pronunciation. But what also like intrigued me was the fact that it says Sophie Hannah. So I don't know if this is like a novel that Agatha Christie didn't write or what. Yeah, it says for Agatha Christie. So I don't actually know who wrote this. Maybe Agatha Christie started the manuscript and then someone else came in and finished it, but this is The Monogram Murders. Oh, should I have been telling you what these books are about? I feel like I always do that every single video. I start yapping about books and I never go into what the books are about. But that's because I go into books completely blind, okay? And I have absolutely no idea what goes on in them, and I don't want to know. I just want to know the vaguest of details, and then I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm interested in that. But to be fair, the books that I've spoken about already have been pretty well known or are pretty popular, so maybe I can just find not explaining what happens in them. But this one, I don't know what happens. It just says Poirot's quiet supper is interrupted when a young woman confides to him that she's about to be murdered. You see, like, that's enough. Like, the first sentence, I read that and I was gripped and it came home with me. I feel like that's the best way to sort of decide what you want to read, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I got The Monogram Murders. The final book that I got at the thrift store for another £2 was Graceland by Bethan Roberts. I have heard nothing about this book. I'm gonna be completely honest, okay? I saw it in the thrift store and I was like, ooh, hardcover. I would love a hardcover. From what I'm gathering, I believe that this book follows Elvis Presley's mother and tells her story. You know, having a son like Elvis Presley, I don't know. The back of the page is actually, it's not a blurb, it's more so an excerpt of the book, but yeah, it says a moving portrait of a mother's love and a son's devotion. From the moment she first holds him after his twin brother is stillborn, Gladys Presley loves her son Elvis ferociously. You see, once again, just one little sentence gives me like, ooh, there's some drama there. There's definitely going to be some intrigue, and obviously it's real people's lives, so it's going to be interesting. And I actually recently listened to the audiobook of From Here to the Great Unknown, which follows Elvis Presley's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley. And so I'm actually now just in the whole Presley family. I just want to know all that lore, because that audiobook was really good. I'll talk about it in my next wrap up. But yeah, when I bought this book, I literally just bought it because that first line was very catching. I seemed interested, and it's a hardback. You sue me, okay? I just wanted to buy books that day, clearly. But yeah, I got this book. When will I get to this? I don't know. Don't ask silly questions. Anyways, we're moving on to the second stack, which this is where things get really exciting. Okay, so the next books that I bought were 2 books that I got when I was on my trip in New York, and if you watch my New York vlog, you'd be able to see what books those were. But if you have not watched that video yet, the first book that I got was Legend Born by Tracy Dion. First off, thank you. A floppy paperback. But also it's a Barnes & Noble exclusive edition, which was like sort of one of my criteria for the books that I would buy when I was in New York, because it was my first time being in a Barnes & Noble. Anyways, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. Ended up picking Legend Born because it was an exclusive edition, so it has some swords on the edges, sprayed edges, and now I'm intrigued to find out if there is actually some like extra content. I don't think there is. I really don't think so. I just read the final sentence of that entire book. I really hope that hasn't spoiled it for me. I'm gonna try and forget that immediately. But anyways, I also don't know anything about Legend Born. All I know is that I think it's a fantasy academia-esque sort of romance. I don't know. I see a black woman on the cover and I run to it. So I couldn't tell you what it's about, but here are the first sentences. It says, some legacies are meant to be broken. After her mother dies in an accident, 16-year-old Brie Matthews wants nothing to do with her family memories or childhood home. Okay, well, that doesn't give us much information about what it's about. But a residential program for bright high schoolers at UNC Chapel Hill seems like the perfect escape, until Brie witnesses a magical attack her very first night on campus. A flying demon feeding on human energies? You see, that's it. As you can see, I'm now intrigued. I now am enticed to know what goes on in the book. I want to read it. But also, I've heard really, really great things about this series on all the bookish platforms. And so I'm like, let me finally get myself into the series. So that's why I got myself Legend Born. The second book that I got in New York was Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Is this cover not stunning? I do own the first book, but once again, it's in my book collection at home, which looks like that. When you put the 2 of them together, I love I love the US covers of this series so much. I think that they're so stunning, and that's why I also thought that it was a great opportunity to buy the second book in New York, because it would be the US covers, because I'm really not a fan of the UK covers of this series. But anyways, yeah, that's mainly why I got this book. I have already read the duology. It's one of my favorite fantasy duologies, and I just wanted the hardback US edition for that, ladies and gentlemen, for that right there. For that right there. It says on the, if you know, you know. If you know, you know. So yeah, I can't really tell you much about what goes on in this one, and I'm not going to read the back because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. Sorry, I just read the first sentence and it's just like taking me back into this world. If you want a very fast-paced, magically rich, with very key and iconic characters, a type of fantasy, read Divine Rivals. It is done so good. It's enemies to lovers done so well. Like, I wouldn't say there's as much angst, but it's more like that sort of burning ember of that sort of romance and tension. I just love this duology so much. It has a very special place in my heart, and yeah, that's why I was really happy that I got the second book in the duology. The next book I got, I was actually gifted because it was a birthday gift, and that was The Ballad of Never After by Stephanie Garber. This is the second book in the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. And so I was gifted this one, and then afterwards I went and I purchased the third and final book in that trilogy, which is A Curse for True Love. If you can see, I did read these books. If you want to know about my thoughts and feelings on this entire series, you can look out for my reading roundup, because I'm going to be discussing this series in depth, because boy, do I have a lot to say. But yeah, I can't really tell you once again what these 2 books are in particular, because they are the second and the third in a trilogy. But the first book is following this girl called Evangeline, and she's just someone who has a lot of hope, especially when it comes to love and just the world that she's in, things are not aligning or coming to be. Whoa, can I speak? Things are not aligning with what she sort of envisioned for her future. If you've read the Caraval trilogy, this series comes after it. So if you know that world, you will very easily get into this world. But all I can say is it's very magical, very fantastical, and the covers are stunning. They're so beautiful. So yeah, I'm very grateful that I was gifted this, and then I ended up buying myself this one. Next up, literally have said that I'm so excited about every single book that I've spoken about, but that's because I am so excited. But the next book that I got was Never by Jessa Hastings. Ladies and gentlemen, it's finally time. It is finally time. As you know, as you all know by now, I love the Magnolia Parks universe. Every single book that is out, I have read, I've annotated, I love it. And it just made Jessa Hastings one of my favorite authors. So I've been meaning to read the rest of her bibliography. Now, I do know that The Conditions of Will came out at the beginning of last month, I think, or sometime in May. And I did contemplate getting that book, but we are on a student budget, and that is a brand new book. It's only coming out in hardback right now, and it's at like £16. And I was like, I love books. I love reading. I love Jessa Hastings, but I also need to be able to live. So I did not, unfortunately, get that book. But instead, I was like, okay, let me get Never, because I can't remember if it was on sale or not, but it was significantly cheaper, even for a hardback. And I was like, you know what? I can start there. And then when The Conditions of Will gets a little bit cheaper, I can purchase that book, and then I can read that one, because I'm also really, really excited to read that one. And also, she just recently announced that she's coming out with another book, I think this summertime, which is crazy. She wrote the book in a month, that woman. But it's called Time of Your Life, I think. I can't remember. But she was like teasing it on her Instagram, and I was literally foaming at the mouth. I was like, Jessa. And if you read the blurb of that book, oh, I'm so excited. And I know I'm going to be here for the entire thing. But I digress. We're now talking about something completely different. Here we have Never. All I know is that this is a Peter Pan retelling. I'm pretty sure. From what I've gathered, it's not Magnolia Parks. Sorry, I was reading Magnolia Parks. It's Jessa Hastings' first and only fantasy novel, I think, that is out. Yeah, that's all I pretty much know about it. If Jessa Hastings writes her grocery list and publishes that, I will be there. I will read that and I will enjoy it. She just has a beautiful way with words. Oh my gosh. She has a beautiful way with words, and also her art for all of her books is just, it's so good. It's so good. Shall we read the back? It's a little excerpt, because we don't read the blurbs here. But it says, there is a boy of legend in the tales passed down in my family. He glides on the coattails of the sun, rides the wind, and freedom runs through his veins. His heart, they say, is wild. I mean, come on. He glides on the coattails of the sun. This woman, I just love the way that she writes. I'm so excited to get into this. I don't know if I'll read it this soon, because the books that I have planned out for June don't really include this. But if I do have time, I will make my way to this so that I can, get closer to reading more of her bibliography. That's this book. It's a hardback, which I also, I actually don't think I care between, I don't think I have a preference between hardback and paperback. It's just that I often get paperback because it's cheaper. But I do love a good hardback book, especially if there's like something underneath. But even if it is just a hardback, I enjoy it. They're harder to read in, for sure. That's why they're called hardbacks. Anyways, that's Never by Jessa Hastings. And now we are on to the final book. Oh my gosh, wait, no. I'm so sorry. I forgot. There's another book that I actually don't currently have with me now, because I read it on the train when I was leaving to some other place, and I left it in that other place because it was an awful book. Ridiculously bad. But that book was A Lesson in Cruelty by Harriet Tice, I'm pretty sure. I also spoke about this in my Q1 reading wrap-up. I don't have it because I did not feel an attachment to it, and I did not feel that I needed to keep it. I bought it from the works. It was like £3, and I bought it on a whim, so I'm not even that mad that it didn't turn out to be a good book. But I just wanted to mention that because technically I did buy it, I don't really believe that it's one of my own books anymore. It hasn't even been on my shelf in months. So yeah. Now onto the actual final book of this haul. We've got a package. I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I was when this came in the mail. Once again, as you can see, I get really excited by books. Talk to me about anything bookish related. I will enjoy. If it's food, if it's stickers, if it's actual books, if it's packages, if it's videos. I love bookish content. I'm just there for it all. For all of it. I love to yap about books, as you can see. So I will always be excited when it comes to books. I pre-ordered this book, actually. It came out on May 20th. Take a big fat guess as to what book it is. But when it arrived, I was like, wait, maybe I should wait to unbox it in front of you guys so that you can see my real and raw reaction. So that's what we're gonna do. Well, I won't even tell you. It'll be a surprise. It'll be a surprise for you guys. Surprise, surprise. Hello? Woo! I haven't even seen this book, and it's been sitting in my room for like weeks since it came out. I'm so excited. The book is Rewinded Back by Liz Tomford. Oh my gosh, is this book not stunning? Is this book not stunning? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Wow. Okay, so this book is a part of the Windy Cities series, and if you guys don't know, this is also one of my favorite romance series. So we've got Magnolia Parks, we've got the Windy City series. The characters in this world have such a special place in my heart. I love it so much. It's sort of like a very much drastic difference to the Magnolia Parks universe, but I just love how real the characters seem and how just the found family aspect in this, as well as Magnolia Parks. But anyways, enough about Magnolia Parks. We're talking about the Windy City series. I don't know. I couldn't tell you why I really like this series. I don't even know how to describe this genre of romance. But like the only thing that I could say that it's like is sort of like Wattpad-y, but like that in the sense that it's sort of based on things that wouldn't really happen in real life. You know, you've got the generic or regular used tropes, that sort of thing. And there is quite a bit of smut in these. So that's all I can say about that. But I usually don't really like books, like romance books like that. For example, like the Twisted series. I'm not that girl. That series is not for me. But there's something about this series that is so good. I think it's the way that Liz Tomford writes and just her characters. I love it so much. I love it so much. And so I had to get this. And I will be reading it. I will be reading it very soon. You will hear my thoughts about it. And I'm pretty sure this is actually the final book in this series, which is so sad. But it is the book that I have been waiting for since the first book. Like, when we are introduced to the character of Rio, I was like, where's Rio's book? Where's Rio's book? It's right here. She made us wait. Liz Tomford made us wait. But she's right here. And I'm so excited. I don't even want to know the trope that this is. I'm just gonna go into it completely blind, just be so happy to be with those characters again and just see how the series concludes. And so yeah, so that's why I ended up getting myself this book. It's also because I do own every single book in this series aside from Play Along, because I actually don't know why I don't own it, but I read that electronically. So I'm really happy to get this back in the physical so that I can annotate it by hand. And yeah, I'm just really happy about it. Plus, guys, is this cover not stunning? I love the covers of this series as well because they're so understated, but also I feel like you can like see the different things. Like each one is so fitting to the character that it's about. I love it. I love it. So there are all the books that I got myself from the months of January to now. Yes, my bank account is crying, but my bank account knows that when it comes to books, there is no limit. So yeah, so I hope you may have gotten inspired to go and treat yourself to a book, even if it's a brand new one, a thrifted one, if you do a book swap with your friends, any sort of way for you to get your hands onto new physical books. I just absolutely love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one, whether it's bookish, whether it's lifestyle. I hope I will see you there too. I love you guys so much, and that's it for today.